4, 5, and we are live. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Smart Photographers. And Mr. And is slacking tonight. He tried to come in, but he made up some excuse about being at the gym, and he's like rattling tissue paper in the phone, making it sound like there's static on the line. And yeah, I really think he's out, kind of like hanging out at the bar, having a brewski or two. But whatever, Ant.
Yeah.
We'll fix it. We'll fix it up for you. And I've got another Michael here, and you
Hello,
can
Mr.
introduce
Michael.
himself. Introduce yourself.
Hey, this is Mike again. We got the M&M. Oh, this could be bad. The
This is gonna
M&M
be
show.
bad. That's right. Mr. Portis is MIA, so it's not M cubed tonight, but that's okay.
Yep, and then of course Robert Knight is in purgatory working.
Yeah. He's saying something about being on call. I don't know, man.
He's really watching the football game.
He probably is, but while on call.
Right.
That's okay. So we'll go with it, and it'll probably be a short one tonight, and we'll just play it by ear. We had our contest this week, and it was all in the details, which is a pretty cool concept. And so we got some very cool up close and personal pictures. We have something that's kind of interesting tonight because the winner is actually picked up the first and second place. She put in 2 pictures, and they both picked up first and second. And we have a tie for third. I don't believe that has actually happened in the last year and a half or so we've been playing this game.
No, generally it's always a generally if there's a tie, it's always been for second. Every now and then for first, but yeah, this is the first time we had a bunch in third place.
Right. It's pretty interesting. And just so people know this is not a bandage. I wasn't beat across the head and shoulders today. This is a little sportswear cap I use when I'm working out. But these particular headphones have got a plastic strap on the top. And for those of us that are hair challenged, it makes a rather uncomfortable evening wearing a pair of plastic right up on your scalp. So we're trying something a little different tonight. So no sympathy cards, don't need them. But if you got free beer, send it. I'll take it. On that note, let's take a look at, let's get here. So like I said, we had a lot of interest. We had 21 entries tonight, or for this week, and they really did show a lot of imagination. It was pretty cool. So our winning entry was with 8 points, which is great. The second place was 7, and then we dropped down to a couple with 6. So I'm going to bring up our ties and show you what we had for 6. So let me get this one from Chris and see if I can do this without crashing Google. Google's been difficult for me tonight, so we'll see what happens. And let's see.
There we are. Yes.
There we go. Got focused. All right. So this is from Chris. He's a longtime contributor, always has some good stuff to take a look at. And I like it. I like the texture. I like the shallow depth of field, and I'm always a sucker for black and white. So in my mind, this is pretty cool. The only thing I'm thinking is I wouldn't mind a tighter crop where it's sharp, because I really love the detail in there, and I'd like to see it a little bit better. But that's a pretty minor nit. I mean, so if I focus in, see something. Let's see here. If it were me, I might have done something like that.
I agree.
Maybe center it a little bit more. But just to get that really awesome sharpness he's got, and the curlicue detail going on, and the texture in the bark, and then the cool blur just on the outside. So, that's my humble opinion on this one. And I probably would have gone square crop. What do you think, Mike?
For a few times, I actually agree with you. But no, you're right. When you zoomed in like that, the shot's not bad as it is. But when you zoomed in, it actually made it a lot, right there like that. It made it a lot better.
Yeah.
And it's because it's focused, but yet you have enough in the corners, especially in the upper left and right corners, of out of focus to give it that, give it just the right look.
Yeah, I really like it cropped in like this. But cropping is one of those things like we've talked about before, where it's a incredibly personal touch to a picture, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody's got an opinion on it. Everybody has their likes and dislikes. Some feel no cropping is allowed, and others go absolutely crazy with cropping, much like myself. And
And it's
that's
always the 16 by 9 of
yeah,
Portis.
yeah, they got the Portage crop, but I don't think that would work on this.
No.
So, good job, Chris. I enjoyed the picture quite a bit. Unfortunately, you didn't win with it. So let's see what I can do here. Where's our second sixth place? Let's see here. You remember where that? Oh, there it is. Got it. Now this was very cool. I gotta say. Whoops. Come back here.
Oops.
Now what's interesting? It's not.
Oh, come on.
There we go.
Didn't want to stay.
This is another where I might have really taken the crop in tight.
Oh, yes. Because you can see
Something like right there. When you start seeing the water droplets and the I guess it's a cactus of some kind.
Or it could be like a Venus flytrap or something like
I'm
that.
not a botanist, so I'm kind of winging it here. But
I'm not sure, but it almost looks like it's like a Venus flytrap or something like that, or some kind of bug catcher,
yeah,
bug catching
I think
plant.
I think Tony can correct us on exactly what it is. I don't see in the notes what it is, but it's pretty cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah, you can
And
see all that. But you're right. When you zoom in like that and cropped it like that, oh wow, it's a good picture to
right.
begin with.
It's nice there. So the composition in my mind is actually pretty good. We've got the really strong diagonal. We got the bright up in the corner, but we got the dark anchoring it. And that bright, I think, is one of the things that kind of bugs me. So
Mm-hmm.
when I do this and I crop in, I don't actually lose that diagonal, but I get rid of that nasty brightness.
Yes, and also you can see whatever those the uh,
It actually looks right there.
needles,
I think there's a bug
needles or
right
whatever
there.
that is. It actually looks. You can see especially on one side that it's really focused in on. You can
Yeah,
see
right there.
everything, including the droplets of whatever they are, water.
I'm guessing it's water.
That if
But
it
that,
enough, it's like a fly trap or something like that. It's something that's sticky to catch the flies.
yeah, that's very cool.
But yes, that's great.
So too far, but I think just a little bit of a crop, I think would do it for us. I would say about
There,
right there.
and you still have enough of that little bit of white that kind of gives it that depth of perception.
Exactly. Well done, Tony. Well done. I like the picture. I love the colors. I'm a
Oh
sucker
yes.
for green and blue. They play off each other really well. And the interesting thing I've noted in my own photography, especially with close-ups like this, is green and blue tend to work really well with the smartphones.
Yeah.
Red tends to burn out or start getting kind of nuts, but the greens and blues seem to work
Yeah.
incredibly well.
What kind of phone was this? Phone camera was this?
Motorola Droid Max with a
Ah.
clip-on macro lens, snap
Oh,
scene.
that looks great.
Yeah, yeah, well done, well done. And then our second place,
Our second
Nicole.
Nicole, yeah.
This is pretty sweet. Whoops, come back here.
Whoop, wrong one.
Yeah, my magic mouse gets a little too magic-y sometimes.
Yeah. And it keeps going back. I've noticed I got the trackpad, and if I use the magic trackpad that's not on the desk on the laptop,
Mm-hmm.
it's so sensitive. You just barely bump
Oh yeah.
into it.
Yeah, my magic mouse drives me insane sometimes, but I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Right.
And I guess I'm just in a cropping mood. I mean, I know why she did a long crop like this, but I actually would prefer to zoom in nice and tight and really see the beadwork.
Yes.
I mean, the whole thought behind this challenge was up close and personal, and so in my mind, the closer the better, and really show off what the camera can do and really get the detail. These smartphones of ours excel at close-up photography. The small
Mm-hmm.
sensor gives you such an incredible depth of field that it's almost impossible to take a bad shot when you're shooting close up like this. And I find that when I need macro shots, my iPhone's my go-to phone. And in fact, I actually did a wedding once where I've got two D700s with big old lenses on them. And when it came time for the ring shot, I pulled out my iPhone and I shot it with the iPhone because the iPhone works so much better for macro.
Yeah, because you always on the big SLRs to get that macro, you got to put a macro lens on. That means
right. You got to put another lens on it. And it's a pain in the butt. And the iPhone did a perfect job.
Yeah.
So well done, Nicole. I actually like her tinting that she did on this, kind of a sepia tone almost.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
she does good work.
She does. She very does. And our winner.
Again, Nicole.
Yes. I just got to find it again. Where is it? There it is.
Yeah, the buttons.
So, Nicole, you win. You actually won first and second. Congratulations. The fact you're not shooting with an iPhone, I won't hold that against you. I'm not sure. I don't know. I might have cropped this one too. Like I said, I'm just in a cropping mood tonight. And I think the reason I would do it on this is, yes, you got blur and it's very cool, but it's almost a distraction.
Yeah.
So if I take it in a bit, and while
some of the blur in it,
my crop's only square, I would probably go, maybe a 5x7 crop on this. But I like that sharp band. Let's see if I can get this to cooperate. There we go. I love that sharp band right there, but I also like some of this, and so I need the Google Crop tool to give me a little bit more right there. But again, she's done toning to it. It's let's see, Vintage Effect and SEPA 2. Awesome. It looks really cool. The one other thing I might have done if it were my picture is I might have put a slight vignette on the corners.
Oh, that would make it even better. It's good right now as it is, but yeah, that would really improve it even more.
I think just darkening the corners a touch, just to kind of really pull your eye into the center, would have added a little bit to it. But that's a nit. So this is a winning shot. I'm totally in agreement with everybody that voted. It's an awesome shot. She did well.
Oh yes.
So congratulations, Nicole. You're on the clock now to come up with a challenge for us. Be kind.
she's like some of the couple of others that are really good at really giving us one that can drive us fits.
There we go. All right. Now, I don't have a lot of smartphone pictures this week to share.
Same here. I'm just going to show you just the one that I use from the thing because I've both been sick and busy.
Well, I haven't been sick, but I've kind of fallen into a new gig doing some portraits of horses of all things. One of my daughters is taking up horseback riding, and I went down to take my idea snapshots, which means I've got my D700 with a 200 millimeter lens on it. And as soon as everybody sees the pro camera, it's, oh my God, you're a professional. I need you to take my picture. I literally ended up doing 3 impromptu portraits.
Oh, wow.
For pay. I mean, I wasn't shooting these for free.
Oh, no.
And there's several more that want to talk to me. So while I love my iPhone for this type of work, I'll use my DSLR.
There's certain things that, as great as our little smartphones are, they do not do certain things well, and there's like portraits and stuff like that. Nothing will beat a good either film camera or an SLR.
There you go. So let's see what you got here. NFL genuine helmet. I love the warning. Contact football may result in concussion or brain injury.
Yes. This is actually on the real helmets of this is a New England Patriot helmet. But if you look on any helmet that Rydell makes,
right,
you'll see in that corner the same warning on everybody.
Seriously, that's funny. I'm not sure I would have known that. But then I'm not a big football geek like some of you guys. I was trying to think.
Oh, there we go.
I did some smartphone stuff, but you know what? I'm not entirely sure where it's at right now.
I did. Now, last week I put up a lot of stuff. In fact, during the Hangout, I got my ready to show you, kind of ready to show off how good, especially the iPhone 6 camera is. I took the same picture with the iPhone, and I went to my app to Lightroom and brought up the same picture that's in RAW that's off of that, and you can barely tell the difference because that's how good these phone cameras are.
Well,
Now
wish,
it was a little sharp. The sharpness was unbelievable,
yeah,
but still.
I got something I shot 2 weeks ago. So let me get this shared out. And this is actually pushing the phone pretty hard. So let's get that, get focus. So what this is this was a high school football game that I was at because two of my girls were in the cheer.
Mm-hmm.
They have a preteen cheer to try to get the girls interested in the whole cheer process.
Oh yeah.
And so they were there, and one of my neighbors was there, saw me with my Micro Four Thirds, and asked if I could please get a picture of their daughter because every time she sees the camera, she kind of hides behind people. So while I was using the Micro Four Thirds, I decided to whip out the iPhone and see what I could do with it. So this is actually shot with my iPhone 5S, and it's at the peak of them doing a cheer where everybody is holding still for a brief second. The only illumination I have on this are the overhead lights.
Right.
And I gotta say, I'm still pretty impressed with what the iPhone can pull off.
Oh yeah, it's in very good focus.
I mean, I can see the little swoop, down on the shoe. The little varsity logo is sharp. There's a little blur on a couple of the girls, but the ones that were actually standing still are pretty sharp. Even
yeah,
at the ISO.
I can see the Nike logo on their shoes and everything. Wow.
Yeah, and this is uncropped, by the way. This is pretty much straight out of the camera, and this was without any kind of lens.
It's an excellent
shot. I didn't have my normal moment lens on it, so it's still pretty amazing what you can do with these phones. Just with a little bit of push and a little bit of imagination.
Yeah, Vicky always look at some of this stuff, and she saw that and said, "Wow, that's a good shot of the cheerleaders." And she likes cheerleaders. She likes cheerleaders, and she was one. She was a high school. She was a cheerleader for her high school. Then she was a cheerleader for the University of Texas, and of course, she was an NFL cheerleader for at that time, the Lovey Blue era Houston Oilers.
Okay. All right.
So she likes cheerleaders.
Now, there is one thing. Let me. I've got an app I've been playing with, and the deal. This kind of leads more to the pro side of the world, if you want to say that. But I can see where it has value for anybody, even if you want to share pictures with the family, friends, this sort of thing. I happen to be using something nowadays called sticky albums, and let me share the screen out. And what this does for you, let's get that shared. There we go. So what sticky albums allows you to do is I can set up these albums here, and within each album, I can have pictures. Each picture, you can crop and do whatever you want with it. I tag it with my logo, and the picture gets loaded in, and there's a very simple way for the client, or you, or mom, or dad, or whoever, to share this socially, to call me, or to email me. When these are downloaded, unlike a lot of galleries that we all use, let's take SmugMug for example, these galleries are actually downloaded to your iDevice. And so once they're downloaded, the user, the client, doesn't have to have internet to share them anymore. They're always on the phone. They're always at the ready.
Oh, cool.
And you can do quite a bit. You can put in whatever branding you want. You can put in promotions. You can put in links to go to different websites. It is a subscription service. You got to pay to use this, but There's another one that's actually a plugin for Lightroom, so you can self-host it, and it works roughly the same way. These are becoming more popular because I mean, frankly, in today's world about photography, it's all about sharing. And, the iPhone and the Droids have really driven that. Everybody wants to share their pictures. Everybody wants electronic versions to share on Facebook, to share on G+, to share wherever. And this is one of the few things I've run across that have actually made it pretty easy to do that. And every client I've given this sticky album to, it's been, oh my God, I love this, I need more of this. So it's a great way to open up the communication with the client to do a sale.
I've been playing it.
And I was going to say the cool thing is, even though these particular pictures were shot with the DSLR, I've been playing with this on my iPhone, and the iPhone pictures actually work really, really well because you can upload them, and when they're downloaded back to the phone, they're actually compressed slightly, so you don't have to deal with the whole compression thing. And since they're already for sharing on web media, the whole argument about resolution goes out the window. Nobody's going to care about the resolution because Facebook doesn't care about resolution.
Nope.
So that's my shout out for this week is sticky albums, and it's a lot more complicated than that, but that's certainly the highlights. And if anyone has questions, you can always PM me on Google or send me an email, and I'll be happy to answer your questions or steer you to the right people that can.
I've been playing around with not on my production units that I have aperture and stuff like that. On my Air that I turned on the iCloud Photo Beta. Not impressed.
Oh, how is that?
It's okay. Of course, it's beta and it's buggy as hell. But it's going to be the way the new photo album's going to work, or the new photos, and you have very little editing. You can do some stuff in RAW, but it doesn't have nearly anything that Aperture had.
That's
going to be that's going to be the new their new.
Is that their iPhoto replacement?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think they just handed the market the Lightroom.
Yes.
And whatever they do now is going to be token.
Yeah, unless you are someone that thinks that Apple can't do no wrong and they want you to use everything Apple. I know a lot of people that will not touch Lightroom because it's Adobe and Apple has not made it.
Well, the bottom line is it may be Adobe, but the fact of the matter is it's professional level. It's a heavy lifting piece of software, and it's really the only one in the market that does everything that it does. Photomechanic will organize, but Photomechanic has to hand off the editing to somebody else, just like Lightroom does. So we're not using an industry standard app.
Right, and if you have that creative cloud like I do, the photographer one, you get both Lightroom and the full Photoshop, so you have your heavy lifting all in one thing, so it works beautiful.
Yeah, maybe I'll be proven wrong one of these days, but we'll see.
Yeah, maybe one of these days. But I know a lot of people are unhappy that Apple just seems to be getting away from the pro level and just staying in the consumer now.
Well, the argument there, and it's a very good argument, is the money is in the consumer. I mean, bottom line, there's 1.5 billion consumers versus 100,000 pros. Now that's being kind of off the wall, but
right.
The number of pros is minuscule compared to the number of consumers or want to be pros. So they're following the money.
True, but now I gotta admit, Lightroom looks beautiful on the 5K iMac.
I bet it does.
Oh, it looks beautiful. I mean, even when I take stuff and send it from the phone to Lightroom, I can see so much detail that I can't see on anything else. It's just, it's worth the money.
It's worth the money. I'll keep that in mind. All right. Oh, it's almost 7 o'clock. So why don't we wrap this up?
Let's go. Okay, yeah. So I can get back to the game.
Of course, of course. Wouldn't want to take you away from your toy there.
I'm watching it right now. I got my 55-inch Pioneer going with the sound off.
Yeah, yeah. Good for you. All right. Why don't you go ahead and say your goodbyes? Tell us where we can find you at.
Well, I can be found on the internet, Michael King 4023, anywhere. I use the same one. It just makes it so easy to find me, and I can be found at my mother's house, helping her get ready to move this weekend.
Excellent. And you can find me at msmedia.me. Just a word of caution, in the next week or so, I'm probably going to do a massive revamp to the website. So if you happen to go to the website and it's down, don't panic. I'm still around. I'm probably just screwed something up and putting on the new theme for my WordPress. So wish me luck.
Good
And
luck.
I'm looking for some feedback on the new mic. We're running the new Scarlett CM25, and we're hoping it actually gives a little bit better sound for you folks. So if you can send me a quick mail or a quick message and just let me know what you think, I'd appreciate it.
You can already see mine right there.
Yeah, I see yours, but mine is below, so I can raise it up. See, there it is.
But I'm
Tiny
saying,
red.
yeah, but you can see my comment.
Yeah, I see your thumbs. You're biased.
Well, you sound like a professional now.
Yeah, amazing what good audio equipment can do. The other thing is I'm actually running a mixer on it now, so instead of just a little USB mic.
Well,
So
yeah. If you all saw one of my pictures, I put the audio interface that I use on this Ethereal that it goes into my right now goes in. It's been going into the MacBook Pros, now going into the iMac.
nice, nice. All right. And on that note, I think we'll call it a wrap for tonight. Thanks everyone for playing in the last contest. We'll leave it for Nicole to let us know what the new one is. I'm sure she will come up with something fun for us to keep us amused and occupied. So Nicole, congratulations, you're on the clock. Let us know what you come up with, and we'll see what we can do to put up some pictures. Thanks everyone, and we'll see you next week.